Good to be with you. I'm Tony DeCopo. The breaking news right now. Wildfire emergency, fast-moving flames tearing through Reno, Nevada. Tens of thousands urged to escape. Late developments from the fire zone.
What are you smiling for? This is not funny, sir.
And what was going through Lindsay Clancy's mind when she killed her 3 children? Her murder trial coming down to a clash between medical experts. And the owner of the San Francisco 49ers arrested in a trailer park. New details tonight on the prostitution sting and reaction from the NFL. Manhole mystery, the new video of people in waders and headlamps emerging from under New York City. Who are these guys? What the city is now saying after multiple sightings. Glimpse of the future. We're in Beijing at what's known as the Robot Olympics. Robots now outperforming humans at many physical feats. Are robot soldiers next? What the experts are saying. And a 23-year-old pilot loses an engine over the open water. What happened next?
From CBS News headquarters in New York, this is the CBS Evening News with Tony DeCopo.
And good evening on a Monday. We begin tonight in Nevada, where authorities are telling tens of thousands of people to evacuate ahead of a fast-moving wildfire, one of dozens burning across the West in what has been a very bad summer for wildfires, the most in the U.S. in at least a decade. This one stands out for how quickly it's grown and how close it's now come to the city of Reno. Since the man-made fire began on Saturday, high winds have helped burn more than 20 square miles, torching a number of homes already and injuring at least a half-dozen people. CBS News correspondent Jason Allen is there.
Within hours, an average August afternoon.
Everything on this side of the highway right here is under evacuate right now.
Turned into a rush to escape.
My God, the property's burning down.
The Hawk Fire, pushed by gusting winds and fueled by bone-dry grass and brush, swept into neighborhoods north of downtown Reno. The governor was forced to declare a state of emergency. More than 900 responders are battling the blaze.
There is a threat. The threat has diminished significantly, but we really want to make sure that we're not putting people or responders at risk.
Dozens of homes and cars were burned. At least 7 people, 3 of them firefighters, were injured in the evacuation and firefight. When the fire was within 5 miles of his home, Greg Olson grabbed a stack of clothes from his closet and put his dogs in the truck.
Started at noon, and I knew that was trouble. We packed.
And then where have you stayed? Right here in the parking lot?
Yeah.
Sleeping in the truck?
Yeah.
The Hawk Fire is the 4th to burn around Reno since July, and one of more than 80 large wildfires burning across the country right now. As the fire closed in on Matthew Gillespie's house, his family rushed home to try to save anything they could.
We basically lost everything.
How much were they able to get out of the house before?
Nothing. I lost a lot. I had a lot of hobby stuff and a glass blowing shop. And it's all gone. Sorry.
Firefighters have made some progress now. They've got 27% containment on this fire. The sheriff has lifted some of the evacuation orders, but these gusty winds that are blowing this afternoon, there is still some concern, Tony, that could breathe some new life into the fire.
Jason, thank you. Closing arguments are expected this week in the murder case of Lindsay Clancy, but the defense is now calling for a mistrial after a prosecution witness today brought up Clancy's Catholic faith and the concept of mortal sin. Our Chanel Call with details from the courthouse in Plymouth, Massachusetts.
I have to move for mistrial, reluctantly.
Today, defense attorney Kevin Reddington asked the judge to declare a mistrial after a prosecution medical expert injected religion into testimony.
In the course of strangling each child, she said, "Go to God, baby, go to God."
Then he said on the stand,
she was raised as a Catholic. As I understand Catholic considerations, that's not necessarily what happens, but when I asked her about that, when I said, isn't suicide a mortal sin?
Yeah, can I see counsel over here?
This was the second time Catholicism was mentioned and struck from testimony. Judge William Sullivan quickly rejected the defense's motion.
I'm not going to declare a mistrial this time.
It is highly prejudicial, and it's not probative, meaning it does not go to the ultimate question in this case, which is the legal definition of whether or not Clancy should be held criminally responsible.
It comes after jurors heard opposing diagnoses from two medical experts called by prosecutors. One said Lindsay suffered from a major depressive episode. The other, bipolar 2. Both agreed she did not experience mania, saying the voices that may have motivated the crime were her inner thoughts.
The way she described these is they were not auditory hallucinations. Instead, they were her own thoughts.
And legal experts tell us if Clancy is convicted by this jury, the defense will likely use this issue of religious testimony in their appeal. Prosecutors plan to bring one more expert witness to the stand tomorrow before closing arguments get underway. Tony?
Chanel, thank you. The owner of the San Francisco 49ers was arrested this weekend at a trailer park, allegedly there to pay $140 for sex in what turned out to be a police setup. Details now from our Carter Evans in Los Angeles.
46-year-old Jed York was arrested at 9:35 Sunday morning at a trailer park in East Palestine, Ohio. According to an affidavit, the owner of the San Francisco 49ers had arranged to meet a woman for sex in exchange for $140. York responded to an undercover ad on a known prostitution website. Initially booked for engaging in prostitution, court documents show today he pleaded no contest to disorderly conduct and possessing criminal tools, which was the cell phone he allegedly used to arrange the meeting.
Disorderly conduct is a much more generic charge. Certainly, it's better than pleading out to something related to prostitution.
In a statement, the 49ers said, as this is a legal matter which has been resolved, we will not be providing any further comment at this time. York filed for divorce from his wife back in May. He's been majority owner of the 49ers since 2024. The NFL said the matter will be reviewed under the personal conduct policy.
The league could punish Jed York, even though his criminal case is resolved. And the league is very sensitive to not only how it's perceived by fans, but also its business partners.
York was ordered to serve 2 days in jail with a one-day credit for time served. He also paid a fine of $1,150. Tony?
Carter, thank you. We turn now to that mystery under the streets of New York City after video captured 3 people in headlamps and rubber overalls emerging from a manhole in the overnight hours. This is at least the 3rd such sighting, and police cannot fully explain it. Our Tom Hansen is looking into things.
It's part mystery, part urban myth. 3 men seen emerging from New York City's subterranean sewer near the popular and busy Penn Station. This video was taken last Tuesday just after 4 o'clock in the morning. You could see, one by one, 3 men dressed in overalls and headlamps emerging from underground. The 3rd man replaces the manhole cover and is then seen covering his face as he quickly walks away.
Urban exploring involves invading private property, so there's probably a strong likelihood that that's what it is. It's an adventure.
The NYPD says it's aware of the video, and an inspection of the sewer system did not show any structural damage.
If it was nefarious, whatever was left behind in the sewer would be the risk. And we've already checked the sewers, and nobody's found anything to worry about.
We're standing right where this happened in the heart of Manhattan, just steps away from the busy Madison Square Garden. And when you look around this area, there are dozens of security cameras on this block alone that could have captured this brazen act. This isn't the first time groups of people have been recorded entering the city's sewer system. In May, this video shows 3 people similarly dressed prying open a manhole cover and one by one stepping down into the sewer. Manhole covers protect and limit access to the sewer system, which can be extremely dangerous. In May, a woman died after she fell into an uncovered New York City manhole. There are 7,500 miles of sewers running underneath New York City, which handles more than 1 billion gallons of wastewater every day.
They may have planned no harm to anyone, but they have broken the law.
And Tony, the NYPD says they are still actively investigating this, and the City Environmental Protection Department called this both illegal and extremely dangerous, going on to say there are potentially deadly gases, unstable surfaces, and other hazards in the city's massive sewer system, Tony.
Tom, thank you. The Trump administration today announced its so-called economic D-Day plans against Iran, while also lashing out at Canada, calling it among the worst nations in the world to deal with and threatening still more tariffs. Here's senior White House correspondent Nancy Cordes.
Bring it on, buddy. I'm ready. You're a loser.
The trade war of words intensified today as President Trump threatened to hike tariffs on Canadian cars and steel to 50%, and Canada vowed to reciprocate. Ontario Premier Doug Ford called Trump a bully.
He's the type of guy in school that would take your lunch money one day and steal your running shoes.
The clash started this weekend when Canada walked away from trade talks.
We were attacked. Like you're at war when you get attacked. We got attacked.
Prime Minister Mark Carney accused the White House of negotiating in bad faith with new last-minute demands.
We recognized from the start that America has changed. Sometimes its signature was written in pencil.
Trump's top trade representative said it was Canada that was being unreasonable.
Simply, they wanted more. I don't know if it was political for them.
The standoff in Canada startled border state Republicans, like Susan Collins of Maine, who is in a tough re-election fight.
I still think imposing new tariffs on Canada is a mistake.
As this battle heats up, the White House is launching another one, announcing plans today to punish any country that does business with Iran.
This is a sustained campaign to collapse every last option for Iran.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent wouldn't say publicly which countries might be sanctioned or how long they have to cut ties with Iran.
We are giving everyone the opportunity to remedy bad behavior. Why would I want to blow up the global financial system?
And Nancy, late today, the Supreme Court sided with the Trump administration in its efforts to limit mail-in voting. What does that mean heading into the midterms?
Tony, this allows the Trump administration to move forward for now on a plan to compile a federal list of all U.S. citizens who are eligible to vote. The idea is that the U.S. Postal Service would then only send mail-in ballots to people who are on that list. But there could be more legal challenges ahead, and the reality is that mail-in voting starts in just a few weeks, so there may not be time to pull off any of this before the midterm elections, Tony.
Nancy, thank you. We know more tonight about a young pilot who pulled off a crash landing into the ocean off the coast of Boca Raton, Florida, along a busy stretch of beach. Here's senior transportation correspondent Chris Van Cleve.
Dramatic video captures a small plane in trouble. Its 23-year-old pilot running out of time and altitude just offshore.
I'm still in the air. Everything drops out. LG Boca, and I still have those engines dislodged, all comms, all electronics.
November 40439, radar contact lost.
The pilot, Faith Tankley, was flying from Fort Myers, Florida to the Bahamas Saturday when the trouble started. In a statement, Tankley said she decided she couldn't safely land at the Boca Raton airport, instead aiming for the coast, avoiding swimmers and paddleboarders nearby, even someone with a metal detector on the beach.
I look over and I'm like, yo, is that a plane right there? Why is he so low?
Audine Lulich and his friend Jade Ziti saw the plane go down.
They kind of glided.
Yeah, and they're gliding, and I'm like, did that thing just touch down in the water? And we saw a little splash or whatever, and people were like, oh my God.
Landing in the Atlantic Ocean, the plane staying upright. Tankley says she was able to swim to shore. Video shows her safely on the beach moments after the crash.
Anytime you're ditching on or near the water, it's a real challenge.
I'm guessing it's harder to pull off a landing like this on water than it would be to just land on land.
Absolutely.
Laura Einsettler is an experienced pilot.
You have to be as slow as you possibly can be with your airspeed, and you come in at an angle to be as slow as possible when you touch the water, because you don't want it to be a situation where it almost acts like a dart into the water.
Now, the FAA is investigating what went wrong with the twin-engine airplane. Tankley is thanking first responders and air traffic controllers for their help in those critical moments, Tony.
Chris, thank you very much. Still ahead tonight on the CBS Evening News, robots can now outperform Olympians in some sports, what it could mean on the battlefield, and Dolly Parton's new plan to perform for years to come. The World Humanoid Robot Games are underway in Beijing in a stadium repurposed from the 2022 Winter Olympics. And many of the machines on display can now outrun and outjump even the best real-life Olympians. CBS News foreign correspondent Anna Koren is in Beijing with what this means for the future of work and war.
In a stadium in Beijing,
It's machine versus machine. Humanoid robots competing for glory, running faster than Usain Bolt over 100 metres and jumping higher and further than any Olympian. I'm so proud of China and the progress they have made, beams this woman. Yet for some of the 2,000 plus robots competing, it hasn't all gone to plan. Some have collapsed, burst into flames, ploughed into safety barriers and been stretchered off the track by their human minders, thoroughly entertaining the crowd. But this isn't considered humiliation at the Second World Humanoid Robot Games, rather ironing out the glitches.
Well, this is about China showing off its technological advances in this futuristic field. It also feels like we are seeing the soldiers of tomorrow being tested in front of the world's media.
A3 is competing as a kickboxer, but his engineer Yang Kun says this robot has other real-life capabilities.
It can also do some combat and maybe going to the military.
How far away are we from having robot soldiers?
I think 5 to 10 years.
Now, the founder of China's top robotics company, Unitree, that had a blockbuster IPO last week, said while the progress of humanoid robots is amazing, they're still about a decade away from having their ChatGPT moment, a breakthrough of what they're truly capable of doing. Tony.
Anna, thank you. Up next, what it takes to get thousands of animals up on a scale. The one and only Dolly Parton just teased some big potential plans for the future, telling People magazine that she's been working on a digital version of herself that could be available for, quote, avatar performances. For Sunday Morning, I once asked Parton what she hopes people will say about her 100 years from now, and she said, I hope they say, don't she look good for her age? Seems like she will. A Dodgers minor league team paid tribute to a California legend on Sunday. Jackie the Bald Eagle was honored with a Fly High Jackie Night, the team donating about $10,000 in ticket sales to the nonprofit that operates those Big Bear nature cams. Jackie died earlier this month, but as one of the organizers put it, she'll be the queen of Big Bear forever. And the London Zoo began its annual weigh-in today, a Noah's Ark-like process that involves coaxing more than 14,000 animals onto a scale. Most have to be bribed. Fish for the penguins, big leaves for the capybara. The monkeys jumped on and off for peanuts. And the weight range here is huge, all the way down to snails weighing just about a gram.